It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
This right here is Car con Carne. Car con Carne is a Q101 podcast. I'm James Van Alstyne. Car con Carne is sponsored by Easy Automation. Are you looking to transform your home, office, or business into a smart, seamlessly connected space? Easy Automation delivers custom automation solutions that are tailored to your lifestyle. That means whether you're upgrading your home, streamlining your office tech, enhancing the atmosphere in the place you run, maybe it's a restaurant or sports bar, they've got you covered. Their expert team designs and installs personalized systems from smart lighting and climate control to audio-video distribution and robust Wi-Fi networks, all managed through an intuitive app on your favorite device. Easy Automation makes technology work for you effortlessly, reliably, and always with your satisfaction guaranteed. Visit easy-automation.net or call Dan 630-730-3728 and take control of your environment today. Car con Carne, also sponsored by Exploding House Printing. If you are in a band, this is of key interest to you. Exploding House can help with all of your screen printing, embroidery, and other merch needs. They're truly local. They're located right over in the Hermosa neighborhood, and they focus on small businesses, brands, bands, everything in between. They worked on products for Meatwave, The Empty Bottle, The Music Box, Dante's Pizzeria, The Brokedowns. The list goes on and on. You can see that list at easy for me to say, explodinghouseprinting.com to check it all out. Jonathan, he's the guy who runs Exploding House, and he's been doing this for literal decades. He knows what he's doing. He's got this stuff down. Besides his technical expertise, he delivers production efficiency and cost awareness to offer boutique print shop quality at much lower large print shop prices. Check out their work on Instagram at Exploding House, or go to their website or email info@explodinghouseprinting.com to get a quote. That's a lot. Thank you for sticking with me.
You're welcome.
So I'm joined by Venus Club. They are a dark wave Chicago band I absolutely adore. The new EP is Extended. That is the name of it. It is dreamy. It's haunting. It's well positioned for your autumnal listening pleasure. At times, I feel like I'm listening to what would happen if Stereolab had grown up underneath an L-stop. And I mean that in the kindest way. I think you sound cool. So I'm joined by Emilie and Josh from the band. Thank you for meeting me.
Thank you so much.
It's always weird. Like, we met in a parking lot tonight. There's a sketch aspect to what I do here on the podcast. Yeah, meet me on the south side of the parking lot near the sign and jump in the car.
Mm-hmm. Sketchy things make life more interesting.
They really do. And the crazy, I've been doing this now for 12 years. No one ever bats an eye.
It smells good in here.
What?
It's a nice smelling car.
Well, thank you.
A little minty, you know.
It could be the gum. I don't know, but thank you. It's purely accidental, but I'm glad that that's your first impression.
Well, I thought that might be like a BO stink, and I was happy to report it's really nice in here.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad to exceed your low expectations. So, Extended is, like I said, the new EP. First thing I want to ask, this is on cassette. Was that important to you, being on physical media? I didn't expect a pause.
Physical media. I don't know. I mean, I feel our last record was also on cassette. I think that cassette is kind of like a reference to the past and just sort of like a DIY sensibility. It's also like easier to do than like pressing a record. Nobody likes CDs anymore, although who knows? They're probably a comeback with Gen Z. I'm not really sure.
I think that's in the works. I think that
Even
train
though they were crappy.
is moving. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you really?
I love CDs.
Well, right now you can buy them used for like $1 a piece.
I know.
Even $1? Aren't they just free everywhere?
No. Well,
Yard sales, aren't they just free?
I went to Reckless a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh, maybe I could pick up a couple cheap CDs, and they're like $4 or $5. So it depends on where you're going. If you Goodwill that shit, probably $1 a piece.
Yeah, North Suburbs thrift stores, great CD selections.
Oh, Josh, we should talk. My new thing, I like going to antique malls.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love the antique malls for music, for records, for comic books, all the nerdy things.
I'll tell you, there's There's no deals to ever be had on vinyl at a antique.
No, you're right. No, they're marked up like 25%.
I feel like I was just at
It's like-
Broadway Antique Mart, and they have some for like $9 or $10, which is definitely cheaper
Yeah, they're
than
probably
if you go
$4
to.
records.
Yeah, but if you go to Reckless, the same record will probably actually be more.
I don't know. Reckless has fair prices. I feel like I bought a lot of stuff like well under market price from Reckless.
I do like that Broadway Antique Mall.
That's my favorite.
But yeah, to your point, Josh, like I'll see records like, oh, Pablo Cruz for $11. Like the same records I see in budget bins everywhere else are like $8 or $9.
Do you have a personal relationship with Pablo Cruz? Is that why you brought him up?
No, it's a band. That
I
one
remember,
album,
yeah.
that one album is in
What's
every
it gonna
used
do
store.
if I'm in something?
No, that's
Or is that?
Love Will Find a Way was the big hit.
I always forget that because they're always played on MeTV's Yacht Rock Saturday nights.
That's right.
There's like a couple of Yacht Rock Saturday Night classics that I get confused with.
I do enjoy the Yacht Rock.
Pablo Cruz talk is
I don't like the name.
making me a little hot.
I'm with the Steely Dan guy on that. Fuck the Yacht Rock word, but
I enjoyed the documentary too.
That was so good.
It was so good. Sorry, so you're on cassette. Sorry. All of a sudden, I heard antique and thrift and took things in a strange direction. I apologize for that.
I think with the band right now, like you kind of like no one's really making any money. This is all a volunteer operation. You kind of need to sell something to someone.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the easiest thing that's for them to take home is a cassette. They might not listen to it. It might sit around. They could usually get like a Bandcamp code with it too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a nice. It beats the for a while there everyone was trying to sell like the USB sticks, which
Right.
like was always
Didn't
kind of
really
annoying.
take off.
No, I agree. I totally agree. Even if you don't have a cassette deck, which is plausible, it's a fun little thing to have.
Yeah,
And,
you still get that aesthetic
yeah,
representation.
it feels
there.
collectible. Mm-hmm. It feels like you have something. Hey, if this band becomes the next Radiohead, I'm going to be a millionaire with this cassette.
Yeah.
The collectability there.
Be a $16
I am one of those people, though. I still, like when I buy vinyl off Bandcamp or cassettes, I still use the download code. I still download the MP3s. I like having that stuff backed up. Especially
Prepared.
with cassettes and vinyl. I mean, they're not necessarily going to last forever.
I usually buy them and they go download them on SoulSeek. But yeah, same thing.
So, taking a few steps back, tell me about the beginning of this volunteer effort that is your band. Tell me the origin story.
It was, I think it was around 2014. I posted something on, it would have been Facebook. I just posted a post about looking to make stuff that was more synthesizer, maybe a little bit more dance music type. I'd come from like a very like guitar rock background. Definitely never been in bands before that had a drum machine or samplers or anything like that. And I posted something about, just kind of wanting to branch out and doing something different. And Josh was in my network. I don't think we maybe have met in person before. I'm not really sure.
He shoved me in a vintage store one time.
I did not shove you. What?
Yeah, I was forced to buy some cups that you were partially responsible for breaking.
Oh, was that okay? Whatever. I might have been drunk when I met you. I'm sorry.
I was.
As all good band stories start.
I guess so. I'm. This is the first time I'm ever hearing this story. Okay.
Also not true.
Oh, it's not true. Okay.
Do you want me to step out for a couple minutes if you want to synchronize stories?
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
And then I remember it was a really hot day. We met in a park. We talked about music and our influences and just stuff that we were into and our past projects and stuff like that. And I think we just started like fucking around, and we started with like a Ace of Base cover band for that annual show that happens, Covers for Covers, and this would have been like the 2014 version of it. And then
So you covered Ace of Base songs.
yeah, I think we had like 4 or 5 songs. Is that right, Josh?
I only know the 2 hits. I know All That She Wants and The Sign.
And then I think we also did Don't Turn Around,
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's another one that's really good.
Living in
too.
Danger.
Yeah.
Living in Danger. We had a really interesting interpretation. I don't really think that many people got to appreciate it.
Also with Kelly from Astro Bright.
Yes,
the band
my
too.
friend Kelly and my friend Nicole, who does a lot of cool music herself.
There's another person in the band too, right? Though.
Yes, who his name I'm blanking on because
They're really good with cats.
yes, they were really good with cats. But I think like nothing really took off around that time, even though we did have some stuff that were, like some, would you call them demos, Josh?
Yeah.
Just, some like really early rough demos. And then I think we just stayed friends, and then we slowly would work on stuff. And then probably around 2018, we started working again more regularly on stuff. And then the pandemic happened, and we had some artistic riffs took a break from making music. And then Josh and Jason, who's not here this evening, who's traditionally has a techno background but is a great guitar player, they started resurrecting some of these songs that I had completely forgotten about because it had been a couple of years and I hadn't really thought about them, and they just kind of came up with more ideas, adding in guitar parts. And then then they brought me back in probably around 2021 as everyone was kind of like in and out of the pandemic. And then we played like a weird Halloween show at my friend's yard in Bridgeport. I was wearing a gingerbread man costume.
Perfect.
It was Halloween
With no head.
I lost the gingerbread head. It was wacky. And yeah, we just been progressing more and more since then. That's a very complicated origin story, but.
And the MIA Jason tonight, he records and produces the band?
No, I mean he does most of the mixing and mastering of the band.
Okay.
Jason and I kind of share the recording capacity, and then Emily and I kind of produce the stuff ourselves together.
Got it.
So we all kind of like have a different sort of hand in it. Like most of the songs start off with ideas that either Emily and I are working on and are kind of like fleshed out, and then usually we get to a place where there's like a sense where Emily could like kind of live in and sing on top. And then we bring in Jason to kind of, fill out the kind of the melody parts and things like that and see where they can actually really go. Then we kind of meet back and go over them again. And then once we're ready to record, they usually go through a process of, we all kind of get together, listen to the back, play over them a couple. It's a long process. But Jason is the one that does all the mixing and mastering for us.
Got it.
Excellent mixing. Jason Lekowitz, excellent mixing and mastering pro for your commercial needs.
So let's talk a little bit about Extended, the new 4-song EP. Can we go song by song?
For sure.
Sour Mix. This is, I love, I talk about this all the time. I'm a big fan of album sequencing, and that goes for even 4-song EPs. I love a good slow burner to open things up.
Yeah.
To me, you either got to do that slow burn or you just have to go 4 on the floor out of the gate. And I think this was an appropriate way to start the EP off.
Thanks. Yeah, I'll let Josh talk about this because it was like him and Jason's idea to like start, because the live version is different, obviously. So.
Yeah, we actually found our way into like a really I left the loop on as we were recording, and it just kept going through a piece of his guitar that he was playing over, and we kind of built the kind of extended intro out from that. But the live usually just starts with the drums. The drums kind of bang in on that like little beat, and then we all click in together. But.
And then Perk Canyon? Perk?
Yeah.
Okay. Short for?
These are Josh's weird names that he's just trying to save shit on his hard drive, and he comes up with. You got to answer that one, Josh.
It was an alliteration between something I can't remember, because usually I'll try to I'll look at something and I'll try to find different ways to spell something that sounds, and I think it started off as like pork chop something or another, and then it just made its way to Perk Canyon. I know perk was pork, but I don't remember the rest of it.
You just missed an authentic Chicago rat walking by.
Oh. I hope it doesn't get run over by a car on Western Avenue.
To be clear, that is not a scab rat for Pete's Fresh Market, which...
No, this is an authentic...
hopefully.
Of the rodentia species. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he's so busy. He's got a lot going on. All right, so Perk Canyon, this song I feel like leans on the bass and drums, which I love. And on its own, the bass seems almost cheery on this song, which... Maybe you're not going for cheery vibes overall, but that's the way I felt. If you were to isolate that track, it has kind of a cheery feel to it.
Yeah, I think a lot of these songs were kind of born out of us playing live more than we kind of worked on. Emily and I worked together on songs for so long, and we had this idea that they would all be kind of like a little bit more atmospheric, a lot of kind of there's a word I'm looking for, I'm not grabbing, vampy kind of long songs.
Oh, vampy?
No, kind of more like torch songs sort of stuff.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the sort of stuff that ended up in our first album is that way. So this is sort of the things that are kind of left over and worked around it. So, we didn't have that many upbeat songs to play, so we're trying to build out more stuff to play live.
And the guitar in that song almost has a mind of its own.
Oh, yeah.
As everything else
it's my favorite guitar part of anything right now. Just there's like one little
it's
section
great.
where it comes in, where it was like a scratch recording guitar that we had to like argue about but keep into the actual record because I think it sounds great.
And then there's White Hair, and the synths pull you in right from the start on this.
Yeah, I think that song is interesting. I actually took the lyrics from a science fiction book that was lying around at Josh's house because sometimes when we're just trying to like put in vocal parts and I don't know what to sing, it's just easier to put words in there, and then it just kind of stuck, and I think it like fits with the vibe of the song because it kind of makes me think of like that like sort of like late 60s early 70s sci-fi feel, space age type of like weird like Canticle for Leibowitz, which is actually from the 50s, but I don't know, and I'm like drawing a blank on
Canticle for Leibowitz. That's the first time.
Why I just mentioned that book.
Well, let's jump from there to Sylvia Plath, since we're on the literary. Well, actually, let me take one step back. As you just talked about writing lyrics for a song, is that kind of your MO? Is that kind of like the Underworld model where you're taking interesting ideas or thoughts and stringing them together, or are you telling stories?
I think it just varies from song to song. There's some songs that I think are a little bit more born out of Josh's imagination, and maybe I let like the vibe of the song carry what gets written, and sometimes that does mean that I just like take something out of a page on his bookshelf and feel like that fits the music. But other things are just literally just what I'm experiencing in life and like want to write about. So it really just is from song to song. Depends.
All right, well, given what you just said, I am concerned for you. My mind has taken me to some pretty dark places, and I must admit, I have a fear of wide open spaces. Dark places is what wraps up.
Yeah, you never lived here in the winter?
Fair point. The Chicago becomes a pretty dark place. That's when bands are super productive. That's woodshedding time. Mm-hmm. That's when you master your craft instead of going outside into the cold, dark tundra. You referenced Sylvia Plath, and this one, who, of course, brilliant woman, but suffered profound mental health issues. What was the approach there?
So that was actually the first song that Josh and I ever started working on together, and it was way more, it was like definitely more of a dance song when it started out, even though like I was incredibly depressed, so the lyrics were like depressing. I think I had just lost a job. Josh had just, I also think, lost a job. It was just like not a good time in my life. This was like 12 years ago. Honestly, it was so long ago. And so like the beginning verse or maybe two are just kind of about that time in my life. And I just think the idea of like not envying Sylvia Plath is just like, I think it's really easy, especially as a young person, to like romanticize these heroes that we have. Like obviously a brilliant woman, or all the like 60s rock stars who all had like overdoses. Yep. And like the punks were all doing heroin. And I think when you're younger, like you don't understand the like, I don't think you maybe value life as much, and you don't understand the like gravity of following, of like wanting to be like these people that you might see are your heroes. And I think it's just kind of like this resistance to lean into a self-destructive way of thinking, if that makes any sense, and to just kind of sense. Like, try to stay grounded and appreciate like what you do have. And I don't want to stick my head in an oven. So
it turns out tragedy is actually tragic.
Yeah. Well, in line with the theme and what you're going for on this song, the guitar on this one, it just feels so lonely. On this one, it feels very haunting on this track in particular. So I think you captured.
We spent a lot of time on that.
12 years. That song.
Yeah. Well, the guitar on that, it really took a lot of time to evolve. And I mean, I'm so proud of the work that we put into that sort of version of it. But Jason isn't here to speak of all the different versions of guitar he put together. And it's I think this song was like when Jason joined the band, he joined quite a bit later than Emilie and I have been working on stuff. So we never really thought about guitar being in the band. So it was a little bit hard to
Interesting.
push guitar into stuff. So we had to kind of, this was, I think, one of the songs we worked the hardest on, trying to figure out where guitar fits into our music. And then it was kind of left on the wayside for 3 or 4 years until we kind of picked it up again recently for this EP.
So when you finished this and listened to this song that had been sitting dormant for 12 years, did you think, oh my God, like how did we not see this 12 years ago?
Well, Emily's lyrics have always been really strong in that, her
thanks.
performance. So it was kind of, we always wanted to preserve it, we just couldn't figure out the rest of it.
And you figured it out.
Yeah, I definitely wrote newer lyrics, a little more updated, just kind of like a more global feeling of, and then some of it's post-pandemic. So there's a mention of the pandemic. We lived the last few years with abject horror on our faces, so horror. So yeah, but honestly, it's just sometimes when you work on something for so long, you don't know if it's good anymore. For me, I'm just very immune to the song. I'm like, it's a song. Do people like it? I have absolutely no idea but it's just so, yeah.
I love it.
It's just there.
I think it's great. I think it's great. Again, the new 4-song EP is extended from Venus Club. Live show coming up in November.
Yeah, not till November. But if anyone wants to book us before then, let us know.
And where are you going to be in November?
At California Clipper with Giant Day and Sponge. It should be a fun show. I think our friend Sid is going to DJ as well. So it should be a nice moody night.
Perfect. Again, autumnal.
Autumnal.
Perfect.
Autumnal.
Perfect for you. Okay, cool. And then are you writing as all this is going on too?
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff that we're still working on. So, yeah.
Cool. Again, I love the EP. It is extended. You are Venus Club. Thank you for meeting on Cermak in a grocery store parking lot.
Josh's idea.
It's a lovely grocery. I was telling you both. We're at Pete's Market on Cermak. I'd never been.
Yeah, the best price of dried beans you could find on the south side.
It is a fantastic. It blows away the other big grocery stores in Chicago. It is lovely in there. It's really
the produce display on the one on Western is a little bit nicer, but it's
sponsored by Pete's as well.
Too hard.
It is. There's a taqueria in there, and they've got all the things. Even their liquor store looks lovely in there. But I digress. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much. We had fun.